Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this is the third video from my Twin Flame Soulmate series that I'm doing every single week. Make sure you watch the last two if you have not already, because the way that tarot works and energy works, it doesn't just have to apply to the time period that is stamped like on the video. It can apply anytime you actually need to see the video. So be sure to check those out if you have not already. I have already saged my cards, and I'm using my old deck rather than the holographic one, because the holographic one, it just, like on camera, it just was not working out. I feel like I couldn't show the cards properly. So yeah, I'm using my old deck, and I already saged and cleansed the space of any negative energy. So I guess we can just get started. And I did mention last week that half of this video is going to be on YouTube, and then the other half is going to be in the description box on my Vimeo channel. So very excited to start that for the first time today. And for those of you who are new, my soulmate twin flame readings, I do them more self-focused, like focused on forward movement and healing. So the energy that I was picking up on earlier while I was meditating was that of mental clarity. Like a lot of you have come to some type of conclusion or like epiphany about your soulmate twin flame situation. And again, for those of you who are new, it doesn't really matter which one you fit. Like sometimes people watch the video, they'll ask me like, okay, well, how do I know if I have a soulmate or twin flame? It doesn't really matter. And I say, for those of you that are new, because I said this in my last two videos already, it really doesn't matter if this person is a soulmate or a twin flame, because like I said, it's more, my reading is more self-focused, and sometimes it could get extremely confusing trying to figure out titles. And I feel like a lot of you have, that may be the conclusion that you came to recently, that you no longer want to search for the title or search for answers or clues, that you are feeling like, that you're more so starting to feel like your lack of clarity is clarity enough. And I feel as though for a lot of people who don't have clarity about their twin flame or soulmate journey, I think it's because that's a part of the journey. Like I sincerely do. I think that sometimes a part of our lesson in these connections is knowing how to walk away and disconnect, even with not knowing if that person's ever going to come back, even if not knowing if that person is a twin flame or a soulmate or a false twin. It's like being able to have so much faith in the divine and so much faith in the process that you don't need to have concrete answers, that you are able to surrender and move forward regardless. So let me get one more out. Okay, so the three cards out are the Two of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the World card in reverse. Okay, so the twos in the tarot represent decisions. So I'm seeing here with the Two of Swords that some of you are still feeling like you need to make a decision, and that's why this World card, I feel like, is here in the reverse. Some of you are still feeling a bit off balance, and that you still have some type of decision to make, and it's making you feel like you're stuck. Because this World card, I'm reading it as a cycle with your soulmate or twin flame. A cycle that is not quite over yet, that it's trying to come to an end. You're trying to find your balance, but you are still stuck in your head about the situation. Let me pull three more. Okay, the Two of Swords is being clarified by the Knight of Cups. So what you're in your head about, or what you can't seem to figure out, is whether or not you should move forward. Some of you, this is for some of you are wondering whether or not you should go forward and offer love to the soulmate. You're wondering if it's time, or if it's like you're wondering, now that a certain amount of time has passed, is it okay for you to go and offer this cup of love to the soulmate? And that's the decision that you're going back and forth in your head. Because some of you could feel like now that you have surrendered, or that you have slightly surrendered, meaning that you don't really, like you're not really too attached to the outcome, or you're not really looking for answers as in depth as you were before. Now you're sort of feeling like, should I go and try to make amends, or try to extend some type of emotional offer to them, because you're feeling a little more balanced. But let me pull one more. The Fool card in reverse. So I feel as though this is the two opposing energies here. It's like you're wondering now if you should go forward. This is for some of you. Some of you are wondering if you should go forward and offer something. But I think that deep down inside, you know that that's not the right decision, and you know that that's still a form of trying to control the situation. Because just because the energy has died down some and you're not as hurt or as upset or as triggered, that doesn't mean necessarily that it's time to go forward and offer anything, even friendship. Because subconsciously, that could still be a way of you trying to control the situation, or trying to get the soulmate to see you in a certain light. Like, okay, if I could just go and be their friend, they can see that I've changed, that I've grown, and that's still a way of trying to control the situation. You see what I'm saying? Like, even if you have changed and have grown, going to them or trying to reconnect with them so that they can see your growth, that's still a form of you trying to control how they see you, or like how they interact with you. Especially if they are the ones who are being emotionally unavailable and standoffish, they should be coming to you to offer the olive branch. Like, they should be coming to you. And that's not even a pride thing. Like, you're waiting around like, well, they did me wrong, so they should come to me. Like, it's not even that. It's just more so when you are really detached from the soulmate, or when you really are in a better space mentally, that will just be your natural reaction to it. Your natural reaction would be to not move forward and to offer them anything, because they have shown no proof that they have changed or that they have grown. Just because you have grown doesn't mean they have. And when you grow to a certain point, like I said, this will be your natural reaction to not even want to reach out to them. For some of you, your soulmate may have reached out to you, I'm seeing, and you are at a crossroads with it. You don't know whether or not to take their offer because you don't want to make the wrong decision and end up looking foolish again. Let me pull one more. So for those of you, like I said, who were trying to decide whether or not you should offer this love to the soulmate, like, I'm really getting an energy of some of you are planning to do this, and I don't recommend it. Like, you have free will, so you can do whatever you want to do, but I really don't recommend it. I don't really see it ending well. Like I said, especially if they're the ones who did you wrong, or they're the ones who were emotionally unavailable and you were putting your energy and effort in. I don't see this going well, but I feel like some of you are planning it, or planning to travel to them, or deciding whether or not you should. Like, oh, if we meet face to face, maybe things will be different. Oh, very conflicting energy. Let me pull one more for that. Yeah, the Emperor in reverse. So some of you, this is like a sort of like a last-ditch effort to regain control of the connection. And some of you might not, like I said, you might not even be realizing that you're doing this. You might really think, okay, I'm not triggered anymore. I'm like, I feel more balanced. Maybe I can be friends with them. Maybe we can rebuild something. Like, you're not thinking of it as like, okay, let me try to manipulate the situation. I feel like this is all like subconscious. Just because, like I said, you feel better, it doesn't mean that it's time to go back and offer love. That would have to be their job. Now, for those of you who your soulmate has come back and offered you something, with this Emperor being in reverse, it looks like you may want to really stop and think before you actually accept this offer. Because with this Emperor in reverse, what I keep on hearing is loss of control, as if there's still some control issues within the connection, or there's still going to be someone trying to control it or trying to get the upper hand. But I'm definitely seeing, like, there was 3 of Wands and the Emperor in reverse. It's like traveling towards someone, but there being a lack of feeling like you are in control, or like feeling like you don't have this certain amount of power over your life. It's kind of a confusing message. Okay, so just to recap, for those of you who are thinking about offering the soulmate something, I wouldn't recommend it, like I said, because you're just going to lose control of the situation again. For those of you who have been offered something by the soulmate, be careful and be mindful. If you feel like they are still emotionally closed off, or if you feel like they have not proven themselves to you, then there's no need to go back, is what I'm seeing. Like, there's no need to go back to them, because the end result is going to be, again, these control issues or these power struggles of back and forth, is what I'm seeing. Okay, interesting energy. So I have the 2 of Pentacles and then the King of Cups. So again, like I was saying before, some of you are still feeling off balance because of this situation, and you are trying to regain your balance. You're trying to regain control over your emotions with this King of Cups being here. Some of you, your soulmate seems to have control over their emotions, and that's what's keeping you off balance. Like, they seem like they are cool, calm, and collective on the surface, and that's actually making you feel off balance because you're feeling like, why can't you find your balance when they can? I hope that I like explained that first number of messages, like the first cards. I hope I explained that right, because I can't. It's like sometimes when I pull these cards and I do these readings, I have no clue what the cards are talking about. And not saying that I don't know how to read the cards. I'm saying I know exactly what the message is telling me, but I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I tell it to my clients or like the people I'm reading for, and they'll be like, that makes perfect sense. So I hope that like that first amount of cards, or that first, the first messages that came through resonated with you, because they made no sense to me, but they might make sense to you. So help me understand in the comment section what that first part was about. But again, like I said, with this balance, you are trying to balance your emotions, and some of you are feeling off balance because your soulmate seems to be in complete control of their emotions. Let me pull one more. Yeah, and you're feeling off balance again because, like I said, you feel as though, can you see this? You're still looking at the past, okay? You're still looking at the past and what you have offered your soulmate. I know the retrograde energy is coming up, so this could be why a lot of like thinking and contemplating about the past, contemplating about what was lost, wanting the soulmate to come back around and offer you a new beginning is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this King of Cups person as your soulmate, and I'm seeing like this cup right here as what you want them to offer. And it's crazy because like the message that's in my mind is saying like, cause look, okay, let me try to explain what's in my mind. You see how this King of Cups has this cup, right? You want this King of Cups person. You want this love. And it's like you don't necessarily even want it from your soulmate. You might think you want it from your soulmate, but really if someone came along that made you feel just as good as they made you feel, you wouldn't want your soulmate anymore. So you just want this King of Cups energy in general to offer you something. But it's like you're looking at the past, so they can't offer you anything. Even if this does represent your soulmate that you're in like disconnection with right now, and they are going to come back and offer you something, you still wouldn't be able to take it, even if it's the same person, because you're focused on the past cycle and you're not focused on your own healing. When it comes to soulmate situations, when you separate from a soulmate, they don't come back to you as a life partner the same way that they left you. They would have had to have grown and evolved, and you would have had to have grown and evolved. It would have to be like a whole new relationship, even if it's with the same exact person. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about these soulmate connections. They want to hold on to the connection because they feel as though, well, what if we disconnect and then when they come back, I don't feel the same about them. That's a good thing that you don't feel the same about them, because remember, if the relationship was so good and the connection was so healthy, there would have been no separation. So people are afraid of letting go of their soulmate or letting go of the past and the past feelings and things that happened in the past, because they're trying to hold on to the connection. But really, the connection needs to be severed, and then this person needs to come back and you build a new connection. And that's how you'll pretty much know that what's going on is for your soul and your spiritual growth. Because if you think about it, if you're sitting around thinking, okay, I want to hold on to this connection even though it's harmful for me, then you know it's not really coming from a place of genuine love, because that person could come back to you. Like, they could come back if you were to let go and rebuild. But maybe you're holding on to the connection for a different purpose. Maybe you're holding on to the connection because you feel like you want the person's validation. Maybe you want to feel that worthiness that they made you feel. You see what I'm saying? It's like it really helps you to stop and go back in time to when you first met the soulmate, to why you fell in love with them, or why, you know, you put up with so much in the connection. And a lot of the times when you go back and analyze it, it had very little to do with real love and had more to do so with something involving the ego or wounds or triggering and things like that. So getting rid of this connection is not a bad thing. Letting go of the connection so that it can come back around in a healthy way is a positive thing. You have to completely burn the past down. Like, you've learned your lessons from it, you've grown from it, you know, like you see the higher lesson in it, and so it's time to really let that past go is what I'm seeing. So then I'm seeing the Queen of Wands here, and this is the energy that I'm reading you as. This is the way that you are going to be able to move forward, by focusing on really building yourself up, focusing on your self-love and your self-esteem. Let me pull one more to clarify that. So we have the the Four of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so what I'm getting from these three cards is a feeling of restlessness on your end. Is this feeling of restlessness because you have so much energy, I'm feeling, like pent up inside of you. It's a lot of energy circulating within you regarding this soulmate, regarding the soulmate that you may be in separation from, or just regarding this past cycle in general. It's like you have a lot of pent up fire energy that needs to be released and is making you feel restless. And I feel like sometimes with that energy, it can make you, I feel like this is talking to the group that still is wanting to offer to your soulmate. Sometimes with this pent up energy, we have to make sure we know how to direct it, meaning that we can't take it as, okay, I have so much energy like building inside of me, all this intensity, I'm just going to go for it and go and try to offer my soulmate my love or try to like start something new with them. I'm seeing here that you want to take that energy and actually invest it into yourself and invest it into things that you know are going to have a return on it. For example, if you were to have this intense feeling and you are like itching to go and text your soulmate or go and like contact them because you just feel this feeling like well up inside of you, it would best serve you to put that energy into something creative or something more productive so that that energy isn't just circulating inside of you. Let me pull one more. And for others of you that are not really thinking about offering to their soulmate, I feel like what this is saying is that sometimes you could get this energy of rage or purging. This could go for all of you actually. It's like this energy of rage that's coming up in you, and it's because that anger still needs to be purged out of your system. And I'm seeing here that you need to allow yourself to feel that and not try to suppress it. Allow yourself to feel like the anger and the rage, but put it towards, like try to put it towards something like creative or productive. Like channel that rage into something physical. Don't beat anybody up. Like don't, obviously. But like, how do I explain this? Because I'm seeing, like in my mind, I'm seeing this as some of you are really feeling extremely angry sometimes, and then you kind of beat yourself up for feeling angry. Like you feel like this rage build up inside of you because you're thinking about the past, and you're kind of like, no, like I don't want to feel like that. It's almost like you try to suppress your anger and rage because you feel like anger and rage are like emotions that are unacceptable, even if you don't realize that you're doing it subconsciously. As a child, when you would get angry, your parents or whoever would tell you like to stop acting like that, and they kind of dismiss the fact that you were angry for a reason. You could see anger and rage as bad emotions and try to suppress them when they come to the surface, but they need to come to the surface so they can be purged out in a healthy way. And I feel like with some of you, this actually played a role in your separation from your soulmate. Some of you could have issues with your temper, or they could, but I feel like I'm reading this as your energy. Some of you could have issues with your temper or with suppressing emotions to the point where when you finally do express them, they just kind of explode in the worst way. And then things could be said or done that are hard to come back from. And so during the separation period, what you want to be focused on is how to channel that rage in a healthy way through like art, through, I don't know, punching a punching bag. It's like a lot of different scenarios that I'm seeing. But it's like this is something that you are needing to take a look at, like for in the future when you have healthy connections or when you want to have a healthy connection with someone. Learning how to channel your rage in a positive way is actually going to help you a lot, I'm seeing. Sorry, I'm just trying to wait for the message to come through. Like, yeah, okay. So that's basically all I'm seeing. So then with the World card in reverse and the King of Wands being here, we have counterparts here. So we have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So, like I said, there is a cycle that is trying to end with your soulmate. And as of right now, your soulmate's energy is in the reverse, the King of Wands reverse. So they could still be focused on other things besides you and keeping this connection stuck. Because sometimes it's not just you that keeps the connection stuck. Sometimes it's them. Because when you have a true soul bond with someone, sometimes you can pick up on their emotions quite easily. Let me see. The Six of Cups in reverse and the Six of Pentacles in reverse. I knew those, like I just knew this message was about to come out. I knew it before I even pulled the cards. this cycle is stuck because your soulmate, and this, like I say in my videos, these are not cross-watching videos, but sometimes if your soulmate energy comes up, that means I'm supposed to deliver the message to you. So your soulmate, their energy is stuck as well because they don't want to review the past and see how much they've hurt you by allowing you to give so much to them and just taking from you and not giving it back. So they still have not gone through, like, they still have not completed this lesson themselves about taking from people and not reciprocating the energy. Like, they don't want to look back at the past of what they've done. So it's like their energy is stuck too. So sometimes when you feel stuck, it's because their energy is stuck as well, because they are not trying to see the error in their own ways. That's really annoying. I feel like some of you are going to be annoyed just hearing that because I just got this wave of annoyance over me. Okay, so I'm going to continue this. I'm going to reshuffle and continue this in the description box below on Vimeo, and I will see you guys over there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.